Is it recording? It is. Okay. I'm going to go over this now. I've got a few runs in. I'm going to go ahead and do kind of like a, final thoughts slash walkthrough video on what I found of the Pyranha Ozone. I've been paddling it for maybe 3 weeks now. To get a good kind of feel for it, you have to do more than one run. You can do one run and kind of get a good feel for it, but then I went back, I tinkered with the outfitting, I got a really good feel for how it was going to perform. Then I went back, and usually on the second and third or fourth trip, I start really feeling about how the boat's going to perform overall, for the long haul. Yeah, and then it still might surprise me from time to time on different features, different runs. But yeah, I want to go ahead and get into my final thoughts on this. The boat this is the Pyranha Ozone Medium. I think it comes in around 7'4", 24 inches wide, paddler range. This is coming from Pyranha's website. Pyranha's range, they have it from like 132 to like 220, I think. So they put a really wide range, and I think they did that because of how roomy this boat is. Someone easily up around 200 pounds. I usually go between 165 and 185. I'll swing back and forth, 20, 30 pound difference. So I'm kind of used to being in bigger boats, but I usually paddle a medium or kind of like a medium large. I never really go with the really large boats or the really small boats. This boat to me felt like a small medium. I think I would obviously, after paddling it for about maybe the first 3 times, I was like, I'd really like to feel the large. I think the large would hit my weight range a little better than this medium does. It paddled good. It paddled with the, I was able to keep the bow up when I needed it to. It was fairly quick. It really shined when I put it on a wave. It wasn't super fast at like zipping on a wave, but it would just lock in. And I think, in my opinion, it's this rail right here and this brake. This brake was something I first seen I'm going to go back to like the Pyranha Ozones. It might have been before that, but Pyranha did this cool looking brake. And when you're on a wave, what I think happens is the water gets on this rail, comes down, and it breaks right here, and it causes the boat to kind of just like lock in to the wave better. This is just my opinion. This is not anyone else's. This is what I think I found out after paddling. It's really flat. It's got a really flat hull. So when I'm on a wave, I feel like I can tilt over, get on this edge right here, and on this rail, it goes down, and it's a very sharp rail, so you got to be on it or you're going to get slammed in certain situations. So I get on this rail, and it just locks in, and then I think it breaks right here and helps you just stay. I felt at times I could lock in and just stay on that edge and not move if I didn't want to. I just twitch a little bit of hip snap, go back, and then cut back. But other than that, I thought it was a really good boat as far as like all around. It's interesting what Pyranha's trying to do with this boat. It throws me back to like when at Dagger we did a boat called the Outlaw. There was a Showdown Outlaw and Honcho. It was called the High Noon series. And it was kind of like a departure from the full slice. All the full slice boats was the rage back in the early 2000s. And Dagger did something that was a little bit different. They added bow volume up here and made a really nice stern that was easily a squirt stern, but it's plagued by bad outfitting. Bad outfitting will ruin a good performing boat, trust me. I figured it out several times. After outfitting older models with better outfitting, totally different boats. It's like I highly recommend upgrading your outfitting. This one's outfitted good. So yeah, back to what I was saying. My mind just sometimes goes off in different directions. But back to what I was saying, what I think Pyranha was targeting on this, they want to target someone that maybe owns a half slice, say like a Rewind, a Ripper, or maybe even have like the new Antics or something, and and you're wanting something. You don't want to be in a full slice boat, but you want to be able to get that bow down. You want to be a little shorter. You want to be able to throw it around when you need to, not just stern squirts. So I think Pyranha kind of wanted to fill that niche market, which is it's a very open market right now, and I think Pyranha did it. I think they did a really good job on filling that void on someone that's wanting a better performing slice boat, not a half slice that's obviously you're not going to be able to like throw around, but this boat fits that little void right there between full slice and half slice. So you'll have like a Mixmaster, a home slice, or a Loki. You've got just full slice, then you got a half slice. It fits somewhere right in there. If that's what you're looking for, this is the boat for you. Right now, I think it's the best boat that fits that category. It paddles downriver well. It's not going to be like a class 5, river runner, but it's definitely a really good free ride style boat where I feel you can bow stall it, you can stern stall it, you can cartwheel it if you're strong enough, or in certain holes, and it's easy to whip around in 360s, wave moves. It's kind of like that do-all type boat. So it could be something that you're looking for. It's more my style. This is more my style right here. This is something that I would want to be more. At times I like paddling a half slice, and at times I like paddling a full slice. But then there's times I want to kind of like be right in the middle where I want to be taken care of a little bit, but enough where I can still throw the boat around. Yeah, so I'll go right into like my thoughts on it. For whatever reason, Piranha's staying with these screw-in drain plugs. I don't like them personally. They break. I see a lot of them break and they come apart real easy. I don't know why Piranha just doesn't thread, mold in a drain plug, but they have the mold for this because I see the Piranha logo on it. So they actually have a mold. This is not an off-the-shelf item. I think this is an actual like Piranha item that they have, that they've made themselves. The graphic's really tiny. I don't know if it's like this on the other one. I seen the large, and it has a big graphic here. This graphic, you can barely even tell what that is. From a distance, you're not even going to see what kind of boat this is. I would have probably went with just Ozone across there like they did on the large. I think the large might have it. I don't know. The security bars, I really like their security bars. It's aluminum. That little attention to detail. They're kind of that goldish, yellowish color. It's kind of like Piranha's. It's kind of signature grab handle. I really like it. I'd trust my life to that grab handle any day. It's got the little Piranha logo on it. They put the mold in bow walls. Not a big fan of this. I'm not a big fan of the mold in bow walls. If I was going to do it, I would have done it somewhere else. I would much rather have a security bar right here. I didn't like the fact that the handles are so far away from you. And then when I was strapping it on my car, there was really, if you look, like my stackers lined up here and lined up here. So that means I had to run my straps. I always run my straps through the security bar. It just made it difficult. I would have much rather seen like a little tiny security bar here, or even have the handle, maybe an additional handle up here. I know it sounds crazy, but 2 handles would not have been that bad to have up here. And plus, if a swimmer or something, it makes it a little easier to get up on a boat and get closer to the rim and have something to hold on to instead of holding on back here, which causes the paddler, and obviously you're not going to be rescuing swimmers in this boat. If you're doing video boating or safety boating, I would not recommend like a medium slice boat. I don't even know what category it is. Not a half slice, not a full slice. This is not a boat for rescue boating. But if it happens, and if you do have to rescue a swimmer, I'd much rather have a handle here or up here somewhere. But that's not, that's being picky. That's not bad. Mold quality is really good. Piranha's always had really good mold quality. They have molding dialed in. I know molding really well, and I like, you feel their rim. That rim is super strong. Their plastic feels really tough all around. I don't feel any thin spots. They texture. So they do this texturing all over the mold. It looks really good. It just helps. I like it. They do like, they'll have the polished. They'll have polished into texturing. I like that look. It looks good. Yeah, so we'll move on up here to the stern wall. So they have the track with the seat system. It's not a full-on roller-molded seat, which I like that. It's a lot lighter. This boat is very light for carrying around, for if you have to carry it. Back band, man, I had some issues with this thing. I was not a fan of their back band. I had to tie a knot. I don't know what they got going on here with this buckle right here. I am not a fan of that buckle. It slides on me. I just set it where I wanted to and just tied an overhand knot, and that seemed to help. but to me that seems like an easy fix that could be done. Not a fan of that right there. But the back band was comfortable. It was a comfortable back band. They do have an up and down adjustment to it. You can like take that off, lift the back band up to put things in the hull. You're not going to put much back here inside the stern. There's not much room back there for that. What else? All of the bolts, I found all the bolts are just like daggers. It's the number, I think this is a number 4 Allen key, and it seemed to work on every bolt. So I was able to do it. One issue though, adjusting the seat. Oh wow, man. Don't you start. Don't you start. My chicken's coming over here. Don't you start. Don't you start. One issue, I actually have an old Pyranha seat here, and I'm going to show you. Shut up. Shut up. Go catch some bugs or something. Look at what they do inside their seat. Hey, go. I'm trying to do a video here. Go. See, this is what happens. You get these things. Ain't you got something to do? Go. Go. Okay, where was I? So what Pyranha done, instead of putting a slot here, they've put several slots like this. I guess they're so concerned with the seat sliding forward and back. We had done this at Dagger, and I'd found you can put a slot there. It's not going to move as much as you think. You're locked in by the back band. So even on a stern piton, you're not going to fall back, and when you're going forward, you're going to come out of the seat. You don't like slide the seat forward. It was really difficult to adjust the seat. It comes in on this factory spot right here in the center. So it was like I had to go through these holes right here. There's some holes that there's 2 holes right here. You have to go through those holes. Take the screws completely out, drop that bracket down, slide it forward, put the bracket back up, and screw it back down. And you have a pretty good amount of this isn't bad on a creek setup. I wouldn't mind it on a Mach No or a 9R, but on a playboat where, you know, on one time I might be want to be more bow heavy, more stern heavy, I wouldn't recommend going that route. That's an easy fix from Pyranha. I don't know if they're listening to me, but that's something that I would recommend. Putting a slot in there. It's an easy thing to do. What they've done with their back band in these, I never could get the back band really tight enough. What they've done, they've run it through this area right here, and I'm not really a fan of that. I would almost tinker with that and try to fix it. Damn mosquito. Would try to fix that and figure out a better way of doing that. I would change that around, but you know, it worked. It worked just fine. Their thigh braces, I like their new thigh braces. Their new thigh braces are nice. The one issue I had was these pads, they're really small, and my kneecap, so I'm all the way in the forward position and the middle position. I'm just where the factory position in the seat. My kneecap actually hit right in front of that pad. So the whole time my knee, and I'm not even really got that long of a femur here, but it was like, it just was a pressure point right there. I did pad it out, and it made it 10 times better. You know, when you're in a bow stall or cartwheeling, your knee is just rubbing right there. When you're just sitting in the water, it's not bad, but every time I'd get vertical, it'd be like pressure point right on my knee. Other than that, yeah, I like the new thigh braces. Solid, and I really like how they designed them. This was an issue that Dagger has. You know, with Daggers, you know, you take it out, they actually mold. These are roller-molded thigh braces, not vac form thigh braces like Daggers. So they have the ability to put an insert. So they've got a molded in insert inside the thigh brace, which I really like. So what you would do, you would take this bolt out, and then you would loosen these, and these are on slots right here. So these 2 are on slots, and it's not going to slide on you because of that. At Dagger, we went the opposite direction. We put holes here, a slot here, and a slot here. So it's not going to slide because of having holes here. This one has a roto-molded insert. Really nice. That's smart. I really like it. It's easy to access. You can, and that just bolts down. If you ever lose this bolt though, the thigh brace will probably slide on you. So I take care of this boat right here. You know, once you kind of set it, you'd almost kind of put Loctite on it. I don't imagine moving it much. You know, thigh braces, I usually go forward where they get more contact there. I don't like them back where it kind of cuts into my leg, so I usually go all the way forward. Ratchets, I really like Piranha's ratchets. Man, they're high quality. It's like some sort of aluminum ratchet. It's not the cheap Chinese ratchet that's in, you know, or I say cheap Chinese. You know, I don't know. These might be from China too. They're just better quality. It's just a really good quality ratchet. The ones in Liquid Logic, Dagger, you know, it's all that same Immersion Research plastic ratchet. I have shattered those ratchets. I have seen them just blow apart on me. These right here are metal. I think you would break, I think you would end up breaking this. This is not an Immersion Research ratchet strap like everybody else's. I don't know who this is. It says it's made by Everest. So it's got Everest, and it looks like it might be a snowboarding ratchet the way they have the numbers on it. So that might be some sort of binding for a snowboard. And they just run through, which is actually really good design. They run the webbing through the ratchet hole, and then they put a good stitch on there. So what you're going to do, you're going to stretch that ratchet and break it. Never put a screw through these. Found out the hard way. You run a screw through these, what happens is the actual threads on the screw will slice those ratchets and cut it right in half. So you'll blow out your ratchets. I did have the ratchets a few times pull out on me. Luckily, I'm pretty good at like fixing them. I put a little bend in it like that and just run it back through the back. And then, you know, you can line it up like that. And I was able to get it pretty good with just my pinky finger. Not going to sit here and fool with it, but while I was sitting in the boat, I was able to fix it pretty good. Not bad at all. I like how they do their bow wall. It's attached. This feels safe even for like a slicey boat. You've got a bracket here that's screwed into the rim and then a bolt through the wall. So this wall is not coming out, and it's on this track, and it's inside the track, and I really like that. It's not going to be like a step out type pillar, but it's good enough. Foam, I just put regular foot foam down in the bow. Some little accessory loops here are nice. I don't know why Piranha, it looks like their walls is a series of 1-inch foam that they've glued together. I don't get that. It seems like it'd be easier, and it's 3 inches. I measured it, so I know it's 3 inches. I don't get why they do that, but oh well. I'm sure they have their reasons. I wonder if it's cheaper in the UK to do that. They had a throw rope / water bottle holder. It was nice. It worked well. I was able to put a water bottle in there and have a throw rope. It has a kind of a cutout right there where maybe a bigger head of a water bottle will fit down into. But this worked good. This little ratchet, I liked it. It was able. I love that little attention to detail, the little Piranha logo on it. That's nice. I like that. Seat pad was nice. Hip pads were a little small. I thought the hip pads were a little small, but they seem to work. I added some extra foam in there, but I got them to work. I'm not a big fan of this wraparound style design. You know, I would rather see a ratchet, because what happens is I find that my hip pads move up and down a lot because they're not being really held very good, no matter how tight I get them. But you know, it works good. It's fine. It's been around for a million years, it seems like. What else? Overall, the volume, so the volume distribution is, most of the volume is right in here. You can see it's like a slicey boat, but it's not really a full-on slice. So I was able to throw it around, and with the volume distribution was real nice on it. I felt it was balanced really good from end to end. Very well, one of the best balanced boats I've been in a long time. It had volume up here, which made it a little tougher to cartwheel in certain spots, but I was still able to, you know, flat water cartwheel it, and if I found a good hole, I think I could easily throw down in a big hole, like, you know, like Hungry Mother on the Golly or something like that. Hell Hole I did pretty good in. It's just like I felt I could get some good ends in it. Loops, you can loop this boat, It's obviously not made for loops, in my opinion. I think it's made for surfing, flat spins, and cartwheels. Loops come very, very slow to load. Maybe if I had a really steep green water wave, I think I could get some nice aerial loops. I was able to get some decent ones here and there, but I could flat water loop it if I like really tried. I got a few, but it was like they were that flop over and then roll up. But I feel if I practiced my flat water loop again, I could get that back. Not much bow rocker in it. It's got bow rocker, but it's not a lot. I don't know if you can see on there. It does have a tendency to purl on you on a wave, but if you just lean back slightly or even adjust your weight back, I felt I could lift that bow up and really carve around on a wave on it. Yeah, so back on the hull, I really liked the hull. You know, the rail starts up high, goes down. They're very sharp rails. It goes down, then it has that signature kind of in the zone cutout right there where it cuts in. And I think that helps with being loose on a wave for coming off. It doesn't let the back of the tail grab, so it wants to sling that tail around. And blunts came really nicely when I was on the wave above Hellhole. There's a nice little wave up there. I was able to go back to the old school blunts. I was able to drop down and really engage a blunt that felt really good, you know. Get a couple of blunt sandwiches, baby, you know, blunt on one end, blunt on the other, throw a bunch of cartwheels in the middle. It's nice. It's really good. Super flat, really flat surface here. Comes down, widens up. It doesn't go narrow, so it's got a nice, like, that newish style, you know, widened stern that helps like flatten out coming out of drops. I've not had this on anything steep yet. I don't know if I would actually encourage paddling anything over hard class 4, you know, up to about class 4. You could do, it's not that you can't paddle class 5 in it. I feel that you can paddle class 5 in this. It's not my style of boat to be in class 5. I think you're one hard piton or trapment, it'd be a little hard to get your legs out of here if I got shoved down in there. It's just not worth it to me. I would suggest going up to a ripper, a rewind, or something in that category if you want to have play and paddle class 5. Overall, you know, it's hard to say, you know, would I own one? I think yes. I think I would own a boat like this because it fits an area that's kind of like a good area to have. You know, if it gets a little spicy, you want to be in something a little more volume. I don't want to paddle a full-on slice boat. But then I want to play a lot more. I don't want to paddle a half-slice boat, so I want to have some play boating in there. I think it fits that category. So if that's what you're looking for, I think this boat's for you. Given it's going to be, if you're coming out of like a half-slice or a creek boat or a river runner of some sort, you're probably going to it's going to take you some getting used to on this low volume stern right here. It doesn't have much volume here, so this thing does have a tendency to grab. But I paddle a lot of slicey boats. I was able to figure it out real quick, get on it, and I didn't have an issue. After one run, I tuned this boat in, and I felt great in it. And I was like, oh, I think I could take this down a lot of stuff. I would love to have it on something like Big Water Golly, you know, something big, volume-ish, you know, out west, maybe like a Tumwater or something like Askakumish. You know, if you get on one of those runs, I think this boat would be, it'd be money. Maybe some Canada stuff, like up on the Ottawa and stuff like that. I would love to get this boat out on one of those runs and really like feel it. Because out on runs like that, a full slice boat just feels like the river, when you hit the bigger rapids, it's just kind of like throwing you around a lot. And then when you're in the smaller rapids in a half slice, you're just not having as much fun. So I think this boat would be great for something like that. And maybe someone that has a half slice and they're trying to learn more freestyle moves, but they're like, okay, I get my ass handed to me every time I get in a slicey boat. Well, this is the boat for you. You're probably still gonna get your ass handed to you, but it's gonna be a little more friendlier because it's easier to get this boat around. It's easier with the volume to get it around, get over things and through things. I look forward to trying it on different runs. Drives in a new, I think, and the Golly season's right around the corner. You'll probably see me up on the Golly in it because I really love this boat on water like that. I love this style of boat. I still will paddle the boats like the Rewind, still paddle boats like, you know, the Phantom, the 9R2. You know, it's not going to replace boats like that, but it definitely is a good boat to have in your you know, your quiver to do pretty much all the new school moves, but staying with a little more volume. All right, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, guys. Yeah, and I'll see you out on the river.